Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief introduction to this weekend workshop. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, you receive a lecture about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating Satsangs. During that time, he witnessed the positive effects that Satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate Satsangs for local Satsangis. He has led teams of Satsang members in translating important Satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make Satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating Satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of Satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Hi, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm actually quite soaked in positive energy. July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we had 5 sessions. And this time, I think the energy has stayed so far, which is in itself quite a blessing. Um, so, you know, so this is kind of the annual US event that we do every year, but this happened after 4 years because of pandemic. So, um, uh, but anyway, so stepping back, these days I start the session by reminding that the first and foremost goal for today's session is to connect with peace, inner peace. And as Eddie was saying, there are various methods, but this one is inner satsang, or more inward orientation, where we're trying to find peace inside, because that's where it is. And in the process, to me, it's like, when you actually have a good sleep, after the sleep, you feel refreshed. Similarly, if you connect with the deep, inner peace, even for 30 seconds during your meditation, you will see that effect. And as it grows further, as I was telling you, earlier in the week or last weekend, we had such a enormously charged meditation sessions, and such a charged environment. And I feel, I almost felt, and I said that in one of the sessions, that the way, we all have positive energy within, we probably don't, have enough storage, enough capacity. This method kind of enhances that. But what I also find is that in the group sessions like this, there is something where there is a multiplier effect. We are not here for one and done. It's like, yeah, it's good meditation, had a good time. It's very refreshing, very positive, very uplifting. But then you go back to square one, pretty quickly. So it has to be more of a lifestyle, more of a practice, and practice is the key word here. So when you evolve an individual practice, that is when you realize that, when you come into a group session, not only it kind of enhances the practice, but those sessions have a multiplier effect. Effortlessly, you get to higher states, which individually takes either a longer time, or it's quote unquote, I mean, meditation should be effortless, but when you receive this collective positive energy, the effects are, you can feel it, you can experience it. So while we try to get to connect to inner peace through this deep, silent meditation on transcendental energy, so that's like the higher goal. What you also get in the process is you relax a little, you calm your mind, you physically rest, and meditating, actually makes your mind rest. So one of the important things is that during this process, if our mind keeps working, so this is all about controlling our mind. The talk before, discussion afterwards, Even during the practice, we start with music so that it helps the concentration. But the main goal is to stop the chitter chatter inside, stop bringing in more garbage while we are cleaning our minds. So, um, so how do we accomplish that? So my grandfather, Guru Maharaj in 1930, figured out, through his guru processes that, so he had practiced so many things, he had tried so many things, but, only, finally, when something worked, he packaged it, and this is what we will practice, is what he packaged for us, and what he called, if you're in a family, you can do it. If you're, if you're busy, much lesser amount of time compared to other practices could take you farther. And as I was saying, it's deep, silent meditation at the core, but then you have to transition in because there's so much going on in our minds. We have to transition into that deep state, and then we transition out, and that is where you absorb that energy. And so let's practice, and then we'll discuss more afterwards. Just one other FYI. So, we have been discussing various topics like inner yoga. We have been, talking about the 5 steps to deep and lasting inner peace. The concept of transcendental energy. So one, I think going forward, we're bringing in some more topics so that we can dive a little deeper into the concepts. But what I'm also bringing in is, last weekend I spoke to several people, and we'll bring in few guest speakers and almost like panel discussion type discussion before we open up for questions at the end. So that would be happening by the end of this month, hopefully. So looking forward to that. There are lots of people last weekend who joined, are in 3rd or 4th generation. And, so traditional Hindi sessions have now, this is the English version of that, where the traditional prayers we have converted to music. A lot of the discussions that used to happen in Hindi are now in English. So, but it's pretty much the same practice. So people who have been in it for generations, will bring them on and discuss some deeper topics, or how the transformation in their lives have transpired, what brought them here, what kept them here, what works for them, so on and so forth. But this weekend, I also, my nieces joined, and their sons. So basically 5th generation. So it was really awesome. Independence Day, and it was Guru Purnima, which is Guru's Day, and real freedom is when you are, when I think you can bring in inner peace on demand, like having so much control on your emotions, on your desires, on your distractions, that anywhere, anytime, you can meditate, you can bring in inner peace. Things, the upheaval outside don't bother you. That's true freedom. That's what we should seek. And as Guru Maharaj said, in one of the conversations, he said, the goal for every human should be, achieving ocean of peace. So let's the way he packaged the approach, the practice. Let's practice that, and then we'll talk about what it is and what it is not afterwards. So to control our minds, first thing is we need to be minimizing, distractions. So first, eyes lightly closed, because sensory input distracts our mind. Eyes lightly closed. And then still and relaxed posture. Now, still posture, because every time you move your body, your mind moves with it. So we don't want that. We want to minimize, bodily movement during meditation. So still and relaxed posture. So close your eyes and observe your body, that there is no strain. It's all relaxed. And then start manifesting. Think about transcendental energy, feel the presence, feel the connection. And this transcendental energy in form of light is in front of you, around you, and it's entering your heart and distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming immersed in this light. So very simple, very straightforward, but not necessarily, it's easier said than done, especially to start with. But then, it becomes, once the practice gets deeper, and especially if you put some time and place to it, then, it becomes almost a habit, and you get in that mode quickly. So eyes lightly closed, relaxed posture, and feel the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light. And that light is entering your heart, enlightening your heart, and then it's distributing throughout your body, and you're getting completely immersed in this light. Now, mind will wander away, because that's natural to it. And, so the whole process is inward orientation and concentration. That's where you start. So when you close your eyes and look inwards and see this light in your heart, and that it's distributing throughout your body. And when mind wanders away, bringing it back is also inward orientation. We're manifesting this transcendental energy. That's our object of concentration. So those are the, two limbs of Ashtanga Yoga established by Maharishi Patanjali, and inner yoga, which are these four limbs on the screen. They are the core focus of this practice. So we start with inner orientation and concentration, and then slowly we'll start with music, then music will fade away, and then we'll go into deep meditation, and then transition out with music again. And the idea is that we go deep into a deep silent meditation, and that should result in higher consciousness. So anyway, I'll repeat it one more time, that eyes lightly closed, still and relaxed posture, and think of this divine transcendental energy in front of you, in form of light that's entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you are becoming completely immersed in this light. If mind wanders away, bring it back to this. We'll start with music now. Let's start. So happy Saturday, everyone. And um, I actually, before I open up for questions today, um, I actually had a story to tell in the last session, and we'll probably talk a little bit about the last session. It was really awesome in person. Um, so the story goes that there was a monk who uh, joined a monastery, and somehow he wasn't too happy with his uh, level of meditation, and he was thinking everybody around him kind of disturbs him, and he can go much into much deeper states himself, and he decides to uh, meditate alone, um, away from uh, the distractions. So he takes, so there was a nearby lake, a huge one, and so he takes a boat, goes all the way in the middle of the boat, and middle of the lake, and then says like, yeah, right here would be a good place to meditate. And he closes his eyes and is, feeling good and everything. And so eyes closed, deep meditation, and right in the middle of the lake, suddenly he finds that there is someone has, collided their boat with his boat. So there was like a huge sound, and and he's like, gosh, even here they won't leave me. And so he tries to keep his eyes closed, but another thud, and he, it's like his anger within starts to rise, and he can't keep his eyes closed anymore, and he opens his eyes to kind of do something about it, and what he finds is that there is an empty boat, and suddenly he's just he realizes so many things that he had not realized before, and gets to a much higher stage. One thing he realized was that the anger was within, and the second thing is that everything that disturbs him is an empty boat. So from then on, he decides to like not be disturbed by empty boats. So that's what I think we should decide. But let's not be disturbed by empty boats. Anyway, so yeah, I would definitely like a question or two today, or comments, anything you want to share. So happy Saturday, everyone. Luz, can I start with you?
Yes. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm on my phone, so I can't actually see you all. So I'm going to swipe so that I could see whoever's.
Yeah, Luz, I think you make a very good point. Like, I wish I could see them all, right? It's like, I think at least after the meditation, people should, put their videos on so that we can, see each other. Like in person, there wouldn't be a choice, right? So,
That's true.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Thank you.
But
Kelly.
I'm guilty of the same thing. I never put my camera on. So happens I'm I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start my day. So that's why I put it on.
No, I'm all for privacy, and I'm all for everyone who, for one reason or another. I mean, we want peace, so however that works. But thanks everyone who, and Steve, how are you?
I must say it is beautiful to see everyone. I just want to say a quick hello. It was a beautiful meditation. Thank you. And unfortunately, I have to leave in about 2 minutes, but I wanted to say good morning.
So in 2 minutes, what would you say about the last session in person?
Oh, it was fantastic. I had such a wonderful time, and it was my honor and pleasure to join you all. I really appreciate your invitation to join that meditation session. It was wonderful to see. Wow, what a huge crowd. It was a big crowd that showed up, and it was so nice to see so many young faces, actually.
Yeah.
And it was very joyful. I appreciated everything, the food, the food, but most of all the meditation. And it was really wonderful. I loved the energy. But it's just like wonderful to see so many people and so many young people. So thank you, Sanjeev.
Awesome.
Thank you all who
Thank
went.
you. I will see you here soon. Thank you. Thank you, Liz.
Yes. Bye.
Yes, Steve, you were about to say something. Sorry, Liz had to.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a bit disheveled and everybody's asleep in the house here, so
Where
to lay
are
low
you
here and
located?
soak it all in. So yeah, things get really busy. Even in the summer here, I thought it would be slower, but things are well.
Good. So Stephen Burney, right? Am I pronouncing it right? How are you? Yeah, you'll have to unmute if you want to talk, but so yeah. So any questions, any other comments before I ask Eddie to wrap up for us? Yeah, thanks, Jeff and Kelly, for the comments. And yeah, I'm still, I mean, somewhat, exhausted and tired too. But it was a great annual meeting. So many people showed up. It was really, really nice, and the group energy was phenomenal. Yeah, actually, talking about, satsang has always made me feel, the presence, and basically it's very open-ended. So whatever your belief is, just feel that this transcendental energy is in that form, and feel the connection, feel the presence, and that counters loneliness. And so thanks, Neha, for that comment. But what I also feel is that, this group energy and a positive connection goes a long way. So, yeah. So anything else before we wrap up? Good session today. And as Luz was saying, I think I always feel, it's a privilege and honor to be with you all. So thank you for being here. And Eddie, so any comments on last week? And
Yeah, it's always enjoyable. I mean, you always feel that energy when so many people are meditating at the same time. It's just there, and you know it. And it's sort of a feeling of inner strength. Actually, is I guess the way I could put it. You just feel stronger yourself, and so as you feel stronger, you feel like you have more power to concentrate better, and hopefully that'll lead to a state of meditation. But yeah, it's definitely palpable. It's definitely something that you can experience. So I always look forward to those type of satsangs.
all right, very good. So thank you for being here, and thanks for such a good session. Really good energy today. And um, uh, and one question that came up is like, how do I not be overwhelmed by worry and anxiety? And see, basically, feeling the presence of something powerful, something uplifting, energizing, that in itself, and uh, it is a very empowering, uh, you know, process in itself, and that this practice does that. But also when you are trying to concentrate on something positive, especially worry and anxiety comes mostly when negative thoughts take over. So, Guru Maharaj used to say, worry and anxiety are the number one challenge, or number one thing that takes us away from inner peace. So this entire practice is to dispel that worry and anxiety from our lives. And what is interesting is that, if even for a very short period of time, if we get into deep silent meditation, which doesn't come naturally, or it should be a natural state, but somehow we have, unlearned it or whatever. So even for a very short period of time, when you are in deep meditation, your thought processes are, so when you're trying to focus on this light, transcendental light, when you're trying to focus on one thing and one thing alone, your mind is not going elsewhere. So if you're not going in the past, if you're not going in the future, worry and anxiety is always associated with thought processes taking us to the past or the future. So in deep meditation, that process stops, and hence, worry and anxiety is, reduced, or at that point in time, it doesn't exist. So obviously we are not in that state all the time. But once we learn something and make it effective, make it, part of our lives, then it slowly, that technique or that approach expands. And that's when, I have seen people in my life, people who kind of implemented satsang in the real sense. They were, very even keel, very calm, quiet, and peaceful, even in stressful times. So that's where we want to be. But definitely this practice starts us to leave worry and anxiety behind for a very short period of time initially, and then takes it from there. And yes, Steve, as you said, I think gratitude, kindness, taking from ourselves to where we have unconditional love, unconditional giving. So these are the things that, make us feel more integral to our community, to our to nature, and it gives us real sense of peace, real sense of belonging. So yeah, definitely start with a positive thought. Best way to start the day. Thanks for all the comments and thanks for being here. See you all very soon, and we'll look forward to it. Take care now. Have a nice week ahead.
Thank you, Sanjeev ji. Namaskar.
Namaste everyone. Bye everyone. Namaste bhai.
Take care.
Namaste, Bhaiya ji. Bye, everyone.
Namaskar.
प्रणाम भैया जी, प्रणाम भैया जी।
Namaskar.